And welcome back, everybody, to the Consistent Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Kilian Markert, and today it's about the one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs, agency owners, coaches, consultants are forgetting when they are trying to grow a team in order to be able to scale their business from, let's say, 6 to 7 figures per year. And that one thing, let me tell you a quick story. I'm myself immersing myself much more lately also in the topic of systematizing the business, team building, leadership, and so on, right? Because it's also relevant for myself as we're growing and scaling my own coaching business company, Consistent Performance Mentoring. And if you talk to any expert out there, of course, you got to understand at some point, once you reach that 6-figure level, you start to realize, okay, I can't do everything by myself. You can optimize as much as you want, your performance, your time management. Even if that's good, at some point, if you want to scale further, you got to build a team, right? You got to make sure that you get employees or freelancers or people that help you out to make sure that you duplicate yourself and you take time away from the tasks that you shouldn't be doing, okay? The problem is the following. A lot of people, they start to think only about, okay, what is the best system? What are the best hiring hacks? What should I do to find the best people and so forth? However, a big problem is that I learned from a lot of people that I talked to lately, if you are not a good leader yourself, the problem is you have issues then leading a team. What does that mean? I have some viewers here. Daniel is here. What's up, Daniel? Great to see you here on the podcast as we're recording this. So let me tell you what that means. If you are not very clear on your own mission, vision, and values, how can you come up with a vision, mission, and values for your own company? That's something I'm diving into myself lately as well. And since we're teaching that to our clients, I've already got much more clarity on the vision, the mission, and the values part because I've defined all of that stuff a lot of times for myself, right? But if you're not clear on that, if you're lacking clarity, what's important to you, where you're heading in your life, it's very difficult for you to implement that also into your company culture, right? It's not impossible, but it's much easier for you, of course, if you have clarity on these things as well. What's important for you, what's driving you. The other thing is also, as you're building a team, your level of self-organization will also reflect into the communication that you have with your team members. Let me tell you what I mean. If you're able to say, okay, I set clear expectations when people should reply, what people should do at what times, what channels we're using, what culture we're having in terms of communication, and you clearly set these expectations, it's also, again, much easier for you to build that culture where people communicate clearly, because you as the leader, you're leading that, you're living that way. And so that's why I think it's super important that when you're trying to grow your business and scale it further, you got to have business mentors, right? Which tell you exactly how you grow your business further, how you get more clients, and also things about growing your team. But one thing is, and that leads me to the title of this podcast, is what people forget is that it all starts with you. How can you expect that you have a nice high performance culture where people are energetic, focused, and so on, if you come every morning to the office or to the meetings and you're tired, you're groggy, and you're distracted all the time? How can you expect that the team, does that either, does it better anyhow? Because it all starts with you. A leader is someone that leads by example, that goes first, and basically lives the things that they want to see in their company. And so I think that's why it's super important to ask yourself, are you setting a good example for the people in your organization? Or for, let's say you have just a couple of people that you're working with, are you good in setting a good example for them? What we, for example, do, because what is really important to us in my team is growth and personal development. And so we talk about this in our team meetings. We are at the beginning of the meeting, we always ask, how is everybody's energy levels, right? And what were some wins that we can celebrate together? And then, sometimes people said, oh yeah, I didn't sleep well, something like this happens. And then we make sure that we help them out. What was the issue? So that people develop themselves. So they realize being part of this, they're growing themselves. They're not just, growing in skills, but also as a person. That's the culture, because we're living this, we're doing this. The other thing is, of course, who are you attracting when you're, on the one hand, not having your own habits dialed in? You're not working out consistently, you're not eating good food, you're distracted a lot, you're stressed, you're nearly burned out. And on the other hand, when you have all these life areas in check, when you're super healthy, exercising, eating good food, are in great shape, super focused, super sharp, educating yourself regularly, then you're also attracting these type of people, or it's easier for you to spot these people when they are arising, either when you're in your following, when you're recruiting people from your following, or also when you're actually having people that you drive to your job posts, for example. And so that's why super important to ask yourself, who are you being and who are you attracting because of the habits that you have? That is, I think, is a super important thing. It all starts with yourself. You as the leader are still the one who makes the decisions, right? And you are the one who makes sure, okay, these are the people we're going to hire or not. You're going to be the one who makes sure, okay, this is the strategy for the business. Of course, we can talk about some levels when you have a lot of people. You can remove yourself, right? And you don't even need to do anything. And you just get out of that. And maybe, you're just the owner and, we have some CEOs or things like that. We're not talking about this. We're talking about you being the owner and operator of your company, making largely the most important decisions, strategy decisions in your business, and also some operative decisions and actions that you still do, where you're trying to remove yourself. And you can all follow the best advice on systematizing, automating, and delegating. But if you are simply tired, groggy, and stressed and close to burnout, and you're not making good decisions because of that, well, nothing of that will help you. So that's why it's super important that you fix those foundations first, that you are someone who is super dialed in with your sleep, with your exercise, with your nutrition, feeling energetic and focused every day, able to organize himself properly, able to manage the time properly, so that you also have time outside of business to not burn yourself out, for some recharging as well, because the body still needs it. The body needs to move, the body needs good sleep, and so on. And then you can follow all the great advice on team building, on scaling, systematizing, and so on. But it all starts with you, okay? If you're listening to this and you realize you want to have some help with that, dialing in those habits, mastering your daily energy, your performance, and the consistency with those good habits, then go to kilianmarkert.com, book in a free discovery call, and we can discuss this together, how in your situation we can help you really optimize your daily schedule, optimize the routines, the habits that you have, and make sure you're sticking to those consistently so that you have sky-high energy, super razor-sharp productivity, great focus and time management so that you have more time at the end of the day, scale the business the most efficient way possible, and do so long-term consistently without burning yourself out. Okay? Hope that made sense for you guys. See you on our call, and looking forward to talking to you in the next episode.